All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this week's AMA session. Today we have Joe that represents DWF with us. So, welcome, Joe.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, and just a little bit of background. So, DWF is one of our early backers and supporters, and they actually made it possible that we are where we are. So, appreciate your support. Thanks a lot. And yeah, I think today we want to find out or give the community an opportunity to learn more about who you guys are and what you're doing, and yeah, why you're excited about DIVA protocol. um, cool. Then yeah,
Yeah,
I suggest we can start. Maybe you give a little a brief introduction of yourself and maybe also about DWF and yeah, let's kick it off.
nice. Thanks, Martina. Yeah, I think we are one of the early investors, and thanks for letting us get on board. Because whatever you are building, um, exciting to us. So DWF Labs, we're basically a high frequency trading firm. We have been around this space since 2018. We are based in Switzerland. We basically trade sports and derivative, integrated to over the top 40 to 50 centralized exchanges. And we also have a options arm. High technology. I believe someone was here in the previous AMA session also. And yeah, so I'm part of the VC arm of DWF Labs, DWF. So DWF Labs is the VC arm whereby we invest into using projects like DIVA protocol. We basically hope to help to build the whole future of Web3. Yeah.
Cool, great. So yeah, the sound quality it was broken a little sometimes, but I think like yeah, so DWF is basically like the venture arm, right? Or DWF Labs is the venture arm of
Yep.
DWF, a high frequency firm. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the current market environment is really bad due to the recent events. Like, what's your investment focus in that environment, or maybe also in general? Maybe you can give the community a little bit of background here.
Yeah, I think right now we are quite focused with everything that has happened in in the crypto space, and the speculative layer has been peeled away. Where everyone is really into the builders mode right now. So I think for the VC side, we are very interested in looking at the infrastructure and the middleware space. So infrastructure is basically the different layer ones and layer zeros that basically provide the whole operating layer for crypto to even happen. And then middleware is like the software or even the hardware that provides a service or a solution for application for the users to leverage on the operating system. So that's where we feel that in the crypto space, for infrastructure and for middleware, it is the time for it to grow and to really help to take on the next wave of Web3 users. So that's where we see the most potential in the long term, and that's where we are currently investing in, and which is also why DIVA protocol is in our portfolio, because I believe you guys are very focused on basically enabling everyone to have access in terms of creating a derivative for any service or any asset that they wish to create.
Yeah, exactly. I think yeah, that's what we are trying to do, and yeah, I think yeah, infrastructure and middleware that is critical infrastructure for the whole crypto space to function. So thanks for sharing insights. Any other projects besides DIVA protocol in the middleware space that you are currently excited about or that you're looking, or where you see a lot of potential?
Um, I think right now there is a lot of like with regards to the maximum extractable value space. There is a lot of middleware like companies that are currently trying to basically help everyone to resolve the MEV issue with regards to the the various blockchain that protocols run on. So that's something that everyone is looking into. Um, yeah, that's also another area of interest.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. Um, yeah, so I would be curious, like, how do you weather the current market environment, right? I think right now, like, I mean, everything is down, and like, what are you focusing right now? Is it like slowing down or doubling down? Like, what's yeah, maybe you could share some insights
No,
here.
actually, yeah, I think I was just sharing with you the other day that even though like I mentioned, that it is good that the whole speculative layer is actually peeled away, and while it may seem like it is like the bear market for everyone, it is actually a good time for projects that are really focused on bettering the space to actually come in and um basically, I mean, so, and also like raising funds right now might be more difficult, but I think so what we try to do now in this time is that we want to double down. We want to find the value builders, and with that we also, I think we recently launched a initiative together with Binance, whereby we want to help recover the whole Web3 space. I think Binance committed about 1 billion, and then we also added in our commitment of 15 million to support the whole Web3 space. And this can be for projects that basically, in no part of that in no wrong, they didn't contribute to the speculative issues with regards to the crypto layer, with regards to the crypto space, and but then they are facing difficult times right now. So this fund is to help reinvigorate the whole system, giving back confidence and basically allowing value builders to raise the necessary funds and innovate in the long run for the Web3 space. Yep.
Yeah, I saw this announcement, and I think it's a great kind of like signal from you guys to the whole space of builders, like including ourselves, right? I mean,
Yep.
those people are supported, and I think, yeah, it's very much appreciated. And 50 million is also quite a bit of money. So thank you from all Web3 builders to you guys.
No, I mean like it'd be great if like any projects like reach out to us, and we're definitely happy to like hop on a call and like learn more about what
Yeah.
everyone is like doing and building. Yeah.
Would you know whether this Web3 recovery fund is just for teams that have been directly impacted by FTX, meaning that they had funds on FTX and lost them, or is it just in general also for teams that are running out of funds and are basically having problems to raise in the current market environment? Would you know what this
Yeah,
fund is?
that's a good point to talk about. I think it's the latter, which in general, we don't want we don't want like valuable builders to just leave the ecosystem just because of the current contagion and like a few like bad reps in the space. This is for everyone who is basically in a way affected by the whole mood and climate of the space, and it's a general fund whereby any project, it doesn't necessarily have to be directly impacted by FTX to actually apply for this investment fund. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's awesome. Just great to see how the whole community is basically trying to regenerate themselves without any external help. Like you would see, for instance, in traditional finance, where the government would typically step in if such an event happens. So I think if we can demonstrate that we can self-regulate, I think that will be a strong sign.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, we have to help ourselves also, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I will probably share in the chat the link about this Web3 recovery fund that has been
Thanks.
established by Binance. So everyone who's listening, feel free to have a read and take a look. So cool, yeah. I mean, what impact do you expect on DeFi now, given the recent events, right? I mean, whole crypto was down, but I assume like it was a lot driven by emotions, right? Like what impact do you see, or what future do you see for DeFi long term, and also like protocols like DIVA protocol?
I think we can definitely see like a shrinkage in like the liquidity in the space, and that definitely have a certain level of impact to all the DeFi protocols, because DeFi protocols, the one of the main how to say metric of success is TVL, total value locked, and also the transaction volumes. And in general, in this kind of climate, overall we see everything falling. So in the short term, definitely everyone is a little bit more cautious, uh, taking on a more, how to say, risk adverse approach, trying to make sure that whatever funds that we have are basically really safe, and not in someone else's safe. But yeah, but that is only like in the short term. I think in the long run, this is actually great for DeFi, because like hot take is because for DeFi, everything is basically run on chain, and with on chain, it is immutable. It is transparent, and everyone can see the transaction clearly, and it's by and the counterparty is verifiable. So this basically proves that this basically proves like that DeFi in general is one of the better and like more risk adverse option in comparison to like the middle parties that tend to obfuscate like all the different happenings behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like in my view, it also will take a lot of education about DeFi, right? Because I think for many people from traditional finance, it's also hard to imagine how is it possible to run an exchange without giving up custody, right? So, for instance, in the DIVA app that we have built, we are using for the exchange of the position tokens, we are using 0x protocol, and it's basically like you can trade without giving up custody, right? And I think, yeah, it will also like it will also need a lot of explanations and education, I guess, for like for traditional finance people to better understand the value proposition, right, and see the value proposition of DeFi in general.
Yeah, but I think also like liquidity begets liquidity. When like more people get into the space, the TradFi people will get curious, and like how the previous bull cycle, everyone is like trying to dip their toes into what's happening. So I guess just like the DeFi community just have to like believe in what we are building and continue to like build the community and build the product, and I think naturally people will come into the space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And I mean, yeah, I think what will move into focus due to the recent events is also risk management, right? I mean, I myself I worked as a risk manager for many years at a financial institution. So, I mean, in every traditional financial institution, you have a department that is just solely responsible for risk management. So risk management is about identifying the risks that might impact you as a business, and then kind of like trying to monitor and steer those risks, right? And I think at the moment you don't have this in DeFi, I feel, right? And that's probably an area
Yeah.
where the whole space could also evolve, and also investment opportunities might arise, right, in that area. How do you see that?
Yeah. No, I agree. Like derivative space, right? And which is why like DIVA protocol, like being able to act as an escrow service and basically make a like derive a derivative of any asset, any services is something that is so attractive. So like you mentioned, right, in finance or in general, like in life, right, if once you take on leverage, definitely no matter what, leverage in terms of labor, leverage in terms of like capital, leverage in terms of like goods, you naturally will have more risk associated, risk of like something defaulting, risk of your employee getting sick, risk of like your crops not growing out properly. And with that, you definitely have to when you take on more risk, it's not really about how to say wishing that the risk would like disappear. It is always about relocating the risk away. So you have to relocate through derivatives, and that will help to resolve that would then allow the space to grow in a safe and healthy manner. Because if you were to look into like the TradFi space also, we have the equity markets like the underlying asset commodity markets, right? And then we have like a huge like derivative market to really help to offset all the various risks and
Yeah,
restructure and reallocate everything away and allow the economy to grow in a healthy and sustainable manner.
yeah,
And yeah, I think you guys are also doing something very interesting, right, with regards to like really introducing like the different forms of derivatives that can happen in this space, like providing a certain like insurance pool to like like the to the continent of Africa and like allowing like the farmers to basically have access to insurance that is being crowdsourced to everyone, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I see it the same way. I think like derivatives are critical to manage risks, right? So,
Mm.
and like with DIVA protocol especially, you can really carve out one particular risk that you might not want to kind of like take, right? And hedge against that. So you obviously you will have to find a counterparty that is willing to take that risk. But I really see like a market developing for that type of instruments in order to better manage the risk. And yeah, so I think overall, I think exciting times that are coming over the next months and years. What do you think before we conclude? Do you think we have reached the bottom?
Oh wow, that's the money question, right? I actually don't think that we have really reached the bottom yet. I think there's still like room for like the markets to um like I think just today like AAX, this
Mm,
cryptocurrency exchange in Hong Kong, it was just recently discovered that like the funds from the exchanges from that exchange actually wasn't like it was being tapped on by the founder or like by the
yeah.
exchange itself to actually take like directional bets. And
Mm,
yeah, I think the speculative layer while it's being peeled away is not we're probably at like the final few layers
yeah.
of it. And I think after that then maybe hopefully a bullish 2023 to 2024.
I see. I see. Yeah, I think it's a hard bear market for many of us, and yeah, also an eye opener. I think like everyone who's listening, I mean, learn how to self custody assets. I think that's more important than ever if you see the recent events. So yeah, so let's see whether it's the bottom or we go down further, which we don't hope.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Hey, thanks a lot for answering the questions. I won't take too much of your time. I would probably open up to questions that the community might have for you. And
Yep.
if there are no questions for you, then we would conclude here. So if anyone has any question, please unmute or ask them in the chat. Okay, doesn't everyone is quiet. Everything is clear. Well, someone is typing. Let's wait quickly. Yeah, and yeah, are you planning to expand on other things? Yeah, that's a DIVA protocol specific question. I will cover that after all the questions that are related to DWF and yeah, that you out that yeah. So if there are no questions, I would say a big thank you to you, Joe. Thanks for joining and looking.
Thank you so much for hosting.
Yeah, and wish you a good day. Thanks, and everyone else, please stay on the line, and I can answer all DIVA-related questions. Thanks a lot, Joe.
All right. Thank you, Vladimir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, any other questions? Are you planning to expand on other chains? Yeah, we plan to deploy on multiple chains. So probably at the beginning Ethereum, Arbitrum, and Polygon, but also yeah, launch on other chains, because we see DIVA protocol as a piece of infrastructure, as an operating system for derivative applications. So we want to give developers like a wide range of options where they want to develop their applications on, and that also includes like on which chain they want to launch. So yeah, we start with the free chains that I mentioned, and we'll expand afterwards. Token launch, yeah, we expect this to happen shortly after the mainnet launch, which is planned for February, after the audit in January. And when the second testnet began, yeah, just please bear with us. We're still preparing everything and catching up on a lot of things that are still open. So please bear with us. There will be an official announcement. Okay, Semi is typing. Let's wait for his questions. While he's typing, maybe a short announcement. So we will start distributing POAPs. So for those of you that don't know what POAPs are, it's kind of like NFTs that we will start handing out to people that attend, say, AMA sessions or participate in our quiz, or I don't know, participated in our testnet. So we are rolling this out, and this AMA session will be the first one where participants will receive a POAP that we have designed. So stay tuned. We will reach out to you guys and you will be able to claim that. Cool. Any other questions? I learned many have farmed DIVA during the testnet. What are you going to prevent from those getting access to these illegal acquired tokens? Yeah, so maybe you've seen it in our announcements channel. That's a good question. Thank you. We are running a bounty for multi-account reporting. So if you guys suspect one user to have used multiple accounts, please let us know, or please let Focus Pilot know, which is our community manager, and we will take a look. And the bounty, we will pay out bounty up to 50% depending on the depth of the analysis and the accuracy. 50% of the rewards that the multi-account would have received, and the remainder will be spread across all the other participants. So I think here we also rely on you guys supporting us. We have received a couple of reports, and yeah, there are already people that we are going to reward for reporting. So yeah, exactly. Anything else? Semi is typing. What else? Yeah, so there will be also an announcement regarding the conditional donation pilot program that we're working on with a Kenyan organization. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for the answer. Is it possible to implement KYC for token claim? I mean, yeah, I mean, everything is possible. I think it's just a matter of cost and time, right? If someone wants to support us to do KYC for 25,000 people, then please reach out to me. We can discuss that, but yeah, for now we don't consider doing a KYC for the testnet rewards, at least. All right, so let's wait for one last question from Binary Bonanza, or not. Okay, wait. Let's wait. Bright idea. Yeah, we explored that. I'm not 100% convinced yet that Bright ID might help, and I mean it seems to be very complex to set it up, so it's not something easy, and yeah, I might have another look, but when I looked at it, it seemed to be too complicated, and does this mean you will be listed on Binance soon? No plans yet. So nothing confirmed here. What about Gitcoin passports? Yeah, I mean, I think there are different ways how to prove that you're a legit user, but I mean, yeah, if you don't meet people in person, then it's difficult to verify that it's one unique person behind an address, right? So even if you do KYC, I mean, if you have registered 10 addresses, or if you have participated with 10 accounts, I mean, you just ask 10 of your friends to kind of like show their face during the KYC. So, I mean, there are always workarounds, right? All right, then I suggest we close the round. So any other question, feel free to ask in general chat, or so I'll answer that. And yeah, so thanks a lot for joining. We'll announce the POAP afterwards. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good time. Bye-bye.